Alright guys, I think I'm going to finally be able to get to the transmission on the Sidekick. If you're watching this and you know about Suzuki's, the transmission input shaft bearings eat themselves. And I haven't opened this up. This could all be futile. The tranny could be junk, or it could just need a replacement kit. There's a guy online that sells kits. Hopefully they're still available. And so I'm going to pull the tranny on this thing and get this. This is my hunting rig, and so I'm going to get it ready for hunting season. Gonna hopefully pull the transmission and replace all the bearings and all the other goodies that need to be replaced in there, and hopefully get it back in the vehicle. So I figured we'll film it and just see what happens. So anyways, on with the show. Alright, I don't claim to be any sort of expert on these Suzukis, so I think you got to take the interior shift boot stuff off first so that you can get the shifter out. So that's what I'm doing. So it looks like there's some screws down in between the seat there, and then there's some screws up here. Take these off here. Normally these just unscrew, but I don't know how this comes off. You just left the old boot underneath, eh? Okay, that one has a screw, I think. Oh boy, there we go. I guess you got to take the screw all the way out to get the knob off. Try not to drop that. Okay, there's all kinds of sweet plasticness. Maybe easier to do this from the back. Can I even get to this? That's where they tell you to take the seats out. Unless you pull the seat far enough forward to get to the screw. One. So I think I gotta slide the seat forward. I thought a stubby would be the right tool, but sort of not. Okay. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I'm not even sure I needed to do this, but I do need to wash my cough drops out of there, so might as well take this off. Obviously those clips push out. Yay, I can wash the cough drops off. Now, hello. Maybe it goes like this. Sorry. How do you come out of there? What is the magic? What is the magic? Maybe put it over in reverse. Okay, what's the deal here? We'll be right back. Alright, I didn't do anything special. I just needed 2 hands. So, next part out, and we're going to get these screws loose, and then I'm pretty sure this thing also has to come out. So we'll figure that out next. Alright, I got the handy dandy impact gun for the screws. So this should be pretty straightforward. Wow, that was loose. That was easy. What in the heck? What kind of plastic action is that? So we'll put these screws all down in the front with everything else. Just set all this. Oh, managed to drop one. Come out of there. Alright. Pull this off next. Hey, look, the bottom of the car. Is there any black widows in there? Nope, I blew them all out. Gosh, that doesn't look like that's in there correctly. Looks like it's off to one side. What are the chances that these little screws up here are 10 millimeter? Oh, Suzuki, you do a good job. Good work, Suzuki. I'm gonna need the right angle drive. I'll be right back. DeWalt right angle drive. We'll see if this will work. So let's put you guys somewhere where you can kind of see what I'm doing. Hopefully I don't knock you over. Look at that. And then what else do I gotta get out? I got 2 more to get out. And that is that one. And that one. And that should be the boot thingy. Alright, I'm going to attempt to show you guys pushing this down. Supposedly you go down and counterclockwise and the whole thing comes out, which it did, which is fantastic. I'm gonna go get some paper towels so I don't drip that all over the place. Alright, gotta get the ground strap off. 12 millimeter. And then we'll put the bolt back in. I want to get this off, but it said to drain the transfer case, so maybe I should do that. I don't know. I suppose we'll drain the transfer case next. Alrighty. Wow. That is ugly. Man, I bashed my head and everything. That is some black shit. I don't know. It doesn't look... I've seen worse. Are we still recording? So let me get this off of here. There's some material on here, but I wouldn't call it a lot for an older vehicle, so I don't think there's a problem with the transfer case. What am I doing? Let me see if I can show you guys. I mean, so I don't know if you can see it on video. There's some sparklies, but I don't think that's a lot. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm in real trouble. But I think that's just the transfer case. I don't think that's the transmission. Alrighty, it's transmission time. So what I gotta do is get it started. Alrighty. Hopefully that isn't gonna splash everywhere. Oh yeah. Look at the dribble hanging off of that thing. Wow, okay. There's lots of metal on this one. Sheesh. Yeah, this was a $2,000 vehicle, so if I can just slam parts back in it, even if it's noisy, as long as, because I've heard the guys, so Trail Tough doesn't do trannies anymore. There's a guy out in Williams that supposedly does, but I'm not paying for a transmission for a $2,000 car, so if the tranny's bad, we'll have to go with some type of plan B. Maybe I can find a tranny somewhere, I don't know. But I'm hoping that I can just throw bearings in it. And anyways, the story was I went out to Trail Tough, and they don't do these anymore. And they said that what happens is even when you put bearings in them, they whine because it's worn a new pattern into the gear set. Well, this is a hunting rig. I'm not daily driving this thing, so if I can get in there and get the bearing replaced and just bearings or whatever it is, and get this thing back on the road for hunting, man, that's all I care about. So anyways, let this drip dry and keep going. Alrighty, I see both gray chunks and then I see yellow metal, so I'm assuming that's the synchros, yellow flakes. We'll see if it'll pick it up on camera. I don't know if it'll show on camera or not, but it's in pretty bad shape, so who knows what we're gonna find when we open that case up. Alright, drive lines are next, so we'll do the front first. I'm gonna need the big one. No, come on. Will any of those come off? No. Alright, now we got the big boy out. Oh, there's bolts on the other side. Well, that'd help if I knew that. Alright, now there's going to be fluid that comes out of the other end of this thing. So we'll put the trash can over here. Can you guys see that? May or may not get a new seal. Alright, I guess we're doing the same thing back here, only this time I'm going to take the bolts loose. Or not. Round it over, right? Ow, 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 my knuckle. Okay. We'll do it the hard way. These look like they've been semi-stripped before, so this ought to be fun. No. Oh yeah, that's fucking stripped. Oh, this one. Well, there's 2 for 3. Alright, I tried brake wrench, and these are so tight they're rounding over. So now I'm gonna chisel them off. I'm gonna cold chisel them. Well, split that one. So I'll take you guys off there. When you can get to a bolt, you can just chisel through it and break it off. So that bolt should turn easily now. Yep. All right. There's one. Let's do the next one. There's another one. So that's what it looks like when you chisel through them. So if you have access to a bolt and you got room for a cold chisel, you can pretty much be guaranteed, unless it's like grade 10, which I think you could still get through it, to get bolts off. So now we're gonna give this a little thumpity thump. Well, that didn't work. Here, let's put you guys over here out of my way. Okay, and that's dry. All right, so drive lines are out. Now I'm gonna start figuring out how I'm gonna get this tranny out. I'm an old fat guy and I don't particularly want to huff it out of there, so we'll see what I can do. Okay, slave cylinders next. Whoa. Come on. Okay. What the heck did that go to? You can see the transmission bolt right there, and it's a 17, and I've tried a couple of extensions so far, and I have some really long closed wrenches, and neither of those are going to work because there's a bunch of crap in the road. So I can either try to get a really long extension for the big socket, or I've got these closed wrenches that stick out. So I'm going to go grab one of those and see if I can get it that way. I did manage to get the other one loose, which is right here. That one's loose. And then I think there's two more on top, so you know how it is with mechanicing. So this is the type of wrench I had to use, and I had to stick the wrench like facing up inside the car. Let me see if I can show you guys. Oh, that hurts so bad. I managed to get it loose by putting the wrench on like that, like straight up and pulling down, and then I mashed my arm. Of course. Oh, that hurts so bad. So I got it loose. Now I gotta fool around with the starter and the top 2 bolts. Upper starter bolt, wow. What a pain in the ass to get to. So I broke it loose with these offset wrenches, and then I ended up having to get a short wrench up in there to get it loose enough to be able to spin it out. If it was rusty, I don't even know how you'd get it out. Could you get to it from this side? You might be able to get a right angle air wrench up there with a 12 on it. I don't know, to do the, I didn't know there was a nut on it to do the nut side, but man, what a pain in the ass that thing was to get off. Probably spent a good 30 minutes, 20 minutes trying to fiddle around in there and get it loose. I got 2 more bolts on the bell housing, and then I got to start thinking about how I'm going to support this thing to get it down onto the lift. So I haven't thought about that yet. Haven't quite got there. Okay, I'm going to be right in your guys' road, but this is the only way I can figure out how to get this thing off. Oh, this is a recipe for getting hurt. Oh. Okay, there's that one. Okay. Okay. Oh man. All right, I think all the front bolts are loose or off, except this one. And now I got to figure out what to do about cross members and if this will slide back far enough and all that gobbledygook. Okay, I thought about taking these 2 bolts off, but then I think the transmission would come down. I don't know, maybe those are the 2 bolts to take off, actually. What? Those don't go up inside the tranny, do they? Huh. Nope. Not taking those off. So it looks like these bad boys here. All right, we're going to take the cross brace apart. Now I have the transmission supported by this setup here, which is just this jack on a board, and then it goes up to the transmission right there. So pretty simple setup, and then hopefully I'll be able to take some weight off. I left that bolt in up there just so that it didn't fall on me while I was screwing around. So I gotta get 2 more bolts out, and then this cross member should come out. So let's see here, where are we at? Make sure you guys can see it. Woo! Those threads aren't happy. Oof da. I might have to put some creeper oil on this one. Yeah, I should have done that with the other one. I'm gonna move you guys back. I don't want to get oil on the camera. Okay. The old back and forth. Alrighty. And what's this clip to? Take that off. And then it's mounted to the exhaust. Come on out of there. What's hitting? Huh. Why? I need a bigger pry bar. All right, I just need the exhaust. This is kind of pinched up in the exhaust. All right, just needed to flex the exhaust to get it out of the road here. Where do you guys want to be? Maybe like that. I've also got a safety strap here, which may or may not work. I'm going to start lowering this down. Ooh, slowly. I think this needs to go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the safety strap back a little bit, or maybe I move the jack back. I'm not sure. Safety strap. I'm not sure what I'm going to do here. I think I'm going to take the safety strap loose and move it back. I reposition the strap. Maybe this needs to go up. Oh. Got to take this feeder cable out. Oh yeah, this thing's gonna come right out. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's still attached? Okay. What is that? So the transmission balances pretty well right on the drain. I gotta unplug some wiring, so I'll be right back. Gonna need a small flathead to get the connectors loose on the tranny. And you guys probably can't see it, but the wiring also goes through these like holders, but they're just flexible steel coated in plastic, so they just unwrap. So we'll all right, get this out of the road. Don't know what that is, but we'll get that up out of the road. All right, I'm just trying to get this down on the board. There we go. All right, that's pretty stable. So now I can slide this out the back. This is just a 2x12. You could use plywood if you got a lift. If you don't have a lift, you're going to be underneath it. But it's light enough you could just flop it over on the ground if you're not an old fat guy like me. So I'm going to get it out of here and get it out on the ground. All right, where's the wheelbarrow at? Alrighty. Gonna get a little oil cleanup. Don't wanna mash the old fingies. Alright, not that you guys care, but here's the condition of the transmission. So this is pre-wash, got some Simple Green on there, shove socks in the openings. So pretty dirty. Some of that's dirt from hunting, some's dirt from the previous person. So we'll do a time lapse of me cleaning it. And here it is all cleaned off. I would have had more time lapse on my GoPro, but typical of my GoPro, it shuts down without warning and